found a parcel outside my door. And in that parcel, so the other day, my daughter was going out and she was all dressed up and all made up and her hair all done, all fancy. And I looked at her and I said, my goodness, you look absolutely gorgeous. And she said, really, Mummy? I said, absolutely, you look stunning. Your makeup is perfect and your hair is out of this world. And as I was speaking to her, I could see that she was beginning to stand taller and she had this big smile on her face and her eyes were just glistening. And I thought to myself, wow, just a few words said at the right moment can really make someone's day. Now, I tell my daughter how gorgeous she is all the time. It's not the first time she's heard it. She knows how I feel. But at that moment, she needed to hear it. And hearing it made her feel like she could fly. And that's how powerful words can be. That's how powerful kindness can be. And we live in a world right now where we don't seem to want to tap into kindness. We're also afraid of being used or being taken advantage of. And I get it, because I've put myself out there. I've put myself out there to help someone, to help people. And more often than not, it's always come back to bite me in the ass. And my initial reaction is, well, that's it. That's my lot. I ain't helping no one again. They can go about their business. That's it. Now it's all going to be about me. I ain't doing jack for anybody else anymore. But then again, I kind of think, what if somebody comes along who really genuinely needs your help? Are we really going to turn them away because we were hurt before, because we were let down before and disappointed? Is it fair to make a handful of people with no integrity, with no mind, with no morals, is it fair to make them lead the way and to change who we are? I don't think so. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. But I guess it's human, isn't it?
Yep.
For the majority of us, will never be heart surgeons or brain surgeons, and to be able to operate on someone and save their lives. We may never have the chance to be heroes and jump into a raging sea to save someone who's drowning, but we all have the power to save someone's life by being kind and empathetic. And that is something so powerful, and it makes me wonder, why don't we use it more often? Why are we so afraid of being kind? Why are we so afraid of telling people how wonderful they are, how great they look, how intelligent they are, how they're doing a good job, how we look forward to seeing them tomorrow? Why do we wait until people are no longer with us to cry and say, oh my goodness, they were such a wonderful person, they were so smart, they were so kind, they were so... Why do we do that? Why can't we do it now, while they're here, when they want to hear it, when they need to hear it? My sister sent me a video the other day about people, in a nutshell, didn't want to be on this earth anymore. And I was scrolling down through the comments, and I have to admit, I was really shocked. I was really shocked because there are so many people who are hanging on to life because they don't have the courage to do anything about it, but they don't want to be here. They feel invisible. They're just waiting for that moment when they close their eyes to never wake up. They wish that they were in some kind of an accident that would take them out. And that hurt my spirit somehow. It hurt my soul. And I can't imagine the kind of pain and the kind of suffering that someone must be in to feel that way about themselves, to feel that they don't matter, to feel that if they were to go right now, that nobody would care. That's painful. I don't get it. I think that life is such a beautiful gift. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor, and I don't want to overstep and talk about things that I don't know anything about. But my goodness, people, just to say hello to someone. I see, like, in the mornings, we're hustling and bustling. Everybody's going about their business. Everyone's going about their day. I know that we all have our own problems. We all have our own things to worry about and to think about. There's the kids, there's the husband, there's the wife. Your job's not going well. You don't get a chance to see your friends as much as you would like to. There are so many things going on in our life. But I'm sure that there are also many things that we are grateful for, right? And to think that somebody is in so much pain hurts my heart. But we all have the possibility to change someone's life with kindness. Just a hello, how you doing today? A smile. You don't know what they're going through. Maybe in that moment they're thinking, nobody cares. Why am I here? I might as well just take myself out. And maybe your smile, your kind word can change all that and change their mind. I was speaking to my little sister the other day, and she told me that whenever she used to take her children to the park or when she's out and about, she always says hello to people who pass by. I said, why do you do that? And she said, because, I just want people to know that I see them. And I thought, wow, that is so beautiful and that is so powerful, because there are so many people who feel invisible, who feel they are not being seen. And maybe they just need in that moment someone just to say something simple as, hello, how you doing today? And I know, speaking to people, I realize that there are so many people out there. They're lonely, they're sad, they're looking for companionship. And because they have all these emotions, sometimes it makes them angry. And that anger can be the very thing that maybe keeps them from getting what they want. Listen, I am no authority on the subject, right? I'm just a person that's been on this earth for a while. And I can tell you, if you really want to find somebody, there is nothing more attractive than kindness. I'll give you an example. When I was in my teens, many, many moons ago, there used to be this guy in our social circle. Now, I didn't find this boy attractive at all. He was short and he was, just not attractive. And I was shallow. I was in my teens. That we're boy crazy and, wanted the most popular boy and the most good looking. It is what it is. I just didn't find this guy attractive. And one day we were having like this dinner for the people in our area. So there was a large hall and it was filled with tables and chairs and it was all set up for the meal. Come the evening now, we're all dressed up. Everybody's looking for their seats. And this young lady came in and she was in a wheelchair. And because she was in a wheelchair, she really couldn't navigate in between the chairs. There wasn't enough space. So she just sat there feeling pretty out of place, I imagine, and rather uncomfortable. But everybody was just going about their business and no one was really paying any attention to her. Then at one point, this guy, the guy who I thought was not attractive, he went up to her and he knelt in front of her and he said, "Can I be of help? Is there anything that I can do for you?" So she explained the situation, that she had a place somewhere but she couldn't get to it. So he said, "Do you mind if I carry you there? Then I can come back for your chair, close it and bring it over to you." And she said, "That's fine." He picked her up. And let me tell you, the way that he picked her up, with such kindness and softness and gentleness, it really was a beautiful thing to see. And all of a sudden, that guy, who I thought was too short, who I thought wasn't attractive, it suddenly dawned on me, this man is absolutely gorgeous. Because just imagine if he could treat someone who he didn't know with such tenderness and care. Can you imagine how he would be towards somebody who he loved? So kindness is so powerful that it can change us. It can change the way we see the world and how the world sees us. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I would like to think that when I leave a room, people can't wait for me to come back, because as soon as I left, a bit of sunshine went with me. I would hate to think that I was the kind of person that as soon as I left the room, everybody was thinking, "Oh my goodness, thank God she's gone. I know the miserable cow. She's so toxic. Hope she doesn't come back." I mean, I would hate to think that that was the kind of sentiment that I brought up in people. Why are we so afraid to be kind, beautiful people? Why is it? We're just so busy going about our lives our heads down on our phones, checking social media. We're not even in contact with the people beside us. Just the other day, I was at a restaurant and there was a group of young people around the table, and every single one of them had their head down, scrolling through their phone, and none of them were speaking to each other. And I thought, why bother to go out for a meal with friends if at the end of the day you don't want to be with them? I mean, we're just so busy trying to cultivate fake friendships on social media that the people we have beside us, the people who we can actually see in front of us, the people who want to be with us, we neglect them. And I think that's absolutely crazy. Kindness really can change the world. And I don't think that we actually understand and realize just how powerful kindness is. Whether you've had it done to you or whether you've done it, it changes something in you. It makes you different somehow. Sometimes kindness is so great, it's so enormous, that it's almost impossible to pay back. In 2009, we found out that my father was dying. Now, it was, he was 88 years old and he'd had a good life. We had lost Mum several years beforehand, and I think he was ready to go. I left Italy, and it was around Christmas time, and I went to spend Christmas with him. He was in the hospital, and I knew that this was going to be his last Christmas. I got there like the day before Christmas Eve, and I went to see him in the hospital, and it was nice seeing him and everything, and he was in good spirits. That night, I was staying at this inn in Chorley in London. And I went to the restaurant, and this inn, which is like a little hotel, had like a restaurant part to it. So I went to the restaurant to get something to eat. And I was sitting there, and I didn't even realize it, but I was probably just staring into space, and I was thinking about my dad and his cancer and how he looked, and I'm thinking about losing. I was thinking about all kinds of stuff. And I thought I was okay. I was just sitting there, just, pondering the day's events. And then I didn't realize that. I didn't think anything was wrong. I thought I was okay. Then all of a sudden, the owner of the inn, she came by and she looked at me and she said, "Are you okay?" Let me tell you something. Just those words, the kindness in her voice, I don't know, it just struck a nerve with me. It just got to me. And before I even realized it, I just burst into tears. I'm telling you, it was just like a flood. I couldn't have stopped those tears if my life depended on it. And it's one of those ugly crying too. It was just like the boo-hoo. It was terrible. It was awful. And I was there in the middle of the restaurant, and I just didn't give a damn who saw me, who was looking at me. I just didn't care. And even if I did care, I couldn't have stopped anyway. I was just crying and crying. And she sat down and she took my hand and she said, "What's the matter? What's wrong?" So I told her a bit about my dad and what was happening with him. And she said, "I understand." And she listened, and she was very kind. And that was it. The next day, which was Christmas Eve, I went to the hospital and I spent the whole day with my dad again. And he had a couple of procedures that he had to do. So I spent the whole day with him. They allowed me to stay longer for visiting hours. So I didn't get to my hotel room until really late. And when I got there, I found a parcel outside my door. And in that parcel, in that parcel was a Christmas dinner, with potatoes and turkey, stuffing. There was like dessert. There was like little bits of chocolates, all these kind of Christmas goodies. Christmas crackers. She had put Christmas crackers, those things that us British people have, and we pull them and they go bang, and you have like the paper crown to put on your head. And she had put all these things together and put it in a bag for me. And I tell you, that is something that I will never, ever forget. She didn't have to do that. She listened to me the night before. She was very gracious the night before. She had no reason, but she had empathy towards somebody who she knew was in pain. And unfortunately, I never had the chance to thank her because I never saw her. I asked, if she was around, but she was never around, and one thing led to another. I never got the chance to thank her, and I don't know, the chances are that she will never see this, but just in case she does, and somebody knows that inn, I can't even remember the name of the inn in Chorley, to say thank you so much. You changed my life. You really did. Because at that moment, that's what I needed. She was there. And I've always felt that I needed to pay it forward somehow. I always try somehow to be kind to people. It doesn't matter if I get disappointed. Because at the end of the day, when I needed kindness, I got it. So it's only fair and deserving that if somebody else needs it from me, that I am there. We really do need to be kind, beautiful people. If we have this superhuman power that can change lives, why don't we use it more often? We need to stop being afraid. And even if we do get disappointed and we do get hurt, don't let it stop us from helping people if they need us. My sister always says to me, Angie, in your videos, you need to say like and subscribe more often because you don't say it. And she's right. And I have a difficulty in doing it. I like to beg people for their likes and things. I don't know. It's my thing, and I just don't like it. But let me tell you something. Right now in this video, I don't care. I don't care if people don't like it. I don't care if people don't comment. I don't care if people look at it for 10 seconds and scroll on by. I don't give a damn. What I do care about though, that one person who needs to hear that you know what, you're not invisible. I see you. And I want you to be here because your life is important. If that one person hears that and somehow miraculously is able to change their mindset and is able to make them feel better about themselves and make them feel visible, then let me tell you something. I will feel like I am the most successful person. Thank you for stopping by, beautiful people. And if you're still here, thank you for sharing this journey with me. Be kind to yourself, please, and to others. Bye for now. Ciao.